Hello Capricorn and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie and this is your weekly reading for July 26th through August 1st. Quick disclaimer, this is a general reading and cannot possibly resonate with everyone. Take what applies to you and leave the rest. This reading is for this week, however, time is an illusion and the future is never set in stone. So these messages may apply now, next week, last week, or never. If you feel this reading isn't for you, you're probably right. Trust your intuition. There are hundreds of wonderful readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation. I cuss sometimes and I'm bad at sugarcoating, but anything I say comes from a place of love and understanding. This is a judgment-free zone. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, physicist, neurologist, dentist, veterinarian, psychologist, or professor of any kind. I'm just a girl with a passion for the tarot, and anything that I say that resembles advice is based solely on my opinion and ever-evolving cornucopia of experiences and observations, as well as interpretations of the cards and little bits of information that may pop into my head intuitively from time to time. If you didn't catch all that, I'll also post that in the description. Now that we got that out of the way, we'll start out with your archetype card for this week. I already selected it because these cards are hard to shuffle. Capricorn, you guys got the Orphan. So the Orphan has a lot to do with childhood trauma. The Orphan is the, I think it's referred to as like the wounded child. So anything that occurred in childhood that is rearing its ugly head right now. Holy moly. Do you guys have a sore throat? Because I was fine until I started your reading. What I was saying was, things that occurred in childhood, maybe either casting a shadow or just plain old coming up in its entirety this week or this month for you guys. A situation that you're dealing with right now, if you're having any struggles in particular that you're going through, they could be rooted in something that happened when you were a kid, or how you may have been raised, or it could even boil down to one thing someone said to you when you were 3 years old that you barely even remember, or that you remember quite clearly. I suppose I remember a lot of things from back then. But whatever the case, this is something from when you were a child that is affecting you now. Speaking of children, if there are any weird cuts in this video, it is because my 5-year-old is cracking out. It's that time of the day. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and pull a card for any other outside cosmic energies or influences that may be affecting you guys this week. Cosmic influences for... And I am using the Moonology deck if anybody is interested. Capricorn. Okay, so we have the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So this is very good for you guys. One thing about this I will note before moving on is that while prosperity does lie ahead, it will not just land into your lap. You do have to work really hard for it. And because it's coming out alongside the Orphan card, there's probably something that you're going to need to drop or let go of before that prosperity is allowed into your life. And when I say allowed, I mean by you. So if there's anything that you're doing, any relationship you might be in, any kind of situation that may be blocking this prosperity from coming into you, chances are you know what I'm talking about if that is relevant to you. And it'll have to be let go or worked out before you're going to really see the positive, I don't know, the prosperity, basically. You got to let it in. It does require a sacrifice for some. So, that being said, we'll move on to the tarot. I'm just going to do the material, mental, emotional, and spiritual for you guys first to start out. We'll see what's going on with you guys on the material. What's going on with, oh my goodness, some of my cards are like not even upright. There's just one card. What's going on in the material for Capricorn this week? Okay, I did get 2 cards. We have the 9 of Vials in reverse. And the 9 of Vials is the 9 of Cups in this deck. Okay, so something didn't come through for you guys that you were hoping for. Something is not really going the way that you expected it to. or that you hoped it would at the very least. And that did come out alongside the 5 of Wires, okay? So conflict, competition. You're kind of like, you may be in a situation where you're having to compete with somebody else for something, or that you feel there is that competitive energy in a situation. Or perhaps somewhere where you thought you would find happiness and prosperity, you are instead finding conflict and infighting and trouble. So because this is a material, this could be work. So if there's a lot of, perhaps you're unhappy at work because there's a lot of fighting going on at work. People are not getting along. People don't want to work together. They want to work against each other. And so this is going to, at this time, it's probably having a very negative effect on you because you just want everybody to get along. But sometimes, man, sometimes people just refuse to get along. But let's see what else is coming out for you guys. We'll see if we can resolve that. What's going on mentally for my Capricorn? Mentally for Capricorn. We have the 5 of Zent, which is also the 5 of Pentacles. So this tells me that you may be worrying right now about some kind of lack in your life, lack of love, lack of money, lack of security, lack of safety, whatever it is for you. This is something that's come up front and in your mind right now. You're worried about something, you know, not having enough of something, not having enough resources, not having enough time, not having whatever it is for you, whatever you feel is lacking, that's at the forefront of your mind. And because it's popping up in the mental position as opposed to the material, then perhaps because of this situation here in the material, this fighting and conflict, you're afraid that there may be some kind of loss that you're going to incur as a result. She's breaking in. Alright, so let's see what's going on for you guys on an emotional level. What's going on emotionally for Capricorn? Okay, so we have the Sun in reverse. Okay, so you might be feeling very unhappy at this time. Emotionally. I have a feeling that, and maybe this is because you're an earth sign, or maybe it's just something else altogether, but whatever situation is going on at work is really affecting you on every level. And somehow this is tying back into your childhood or something, or it may remind you of something from your childhood. You may be somebody who has a very strong response when people are fighting or to conflict. Like, it may trigger even like a level of PTSD within you if people are fighting around you. Or another thing that could be possible is that if you came from a rough background, you didn't have enough to eat, or you were very insecure both financially and emotionally in your childhood, that this could be bringing those feelings back up for you that perhaps you never really had to deal with or at least up until this point, right? So you're just feeling a lot of insecurity, you're not feeling safe in your situation, whether it be physically or just, regarding other things. And that is having an effect on you mentally and emotionally. Let's see what's going on spiritually. We have the 10 of Wires in the spiritual position. So, even on a soul level, you're kind of done with this. Like, this situation has just become a burden for you altogether. Where perhaps you could have learned from it, there's nothing to learn at this point. So if this does have to do with something that's going on at work, it may be time to get a new job, or at least to start shopping for one. Obviously, with, everything that's going on right now, it's not like there are just a bunch of jobs out waiting for people to get them. And I do understand that. But the first chance you get to put yourself in a better situation, I would jump on that. I would take that, because with this 10 of Wires here, this just tells me that this is the situation is just, you can't go any further. It can't get any better. There's nothing else really that you can gain from this. And I have a feeling that switching your path or moving in a different direction, whether it be in work or in a relationship or socially or whatever it is for you guys, whatever it is that you're done with, and you can feel it. You know what I'm talking about if this applies to you. This prosperity that lies ahead for you will come in as soon as you change direction. As soon as you remove yourself from this situation that is doing nothing but causing you stress and anxiety and trouble. Okay, if you're waking up every day and you immediately have a panic attack just because you got to go to work, something needs to change. Okay. So we already have a bit of an idea of what situation is going on for you guys right now, but I'm going to go ahead because this is how I designed my spread. This is how I'm doing it. We're going to see if we can get one more card that could describe potentially a situation that you're dealing with this week specifically. Ooh, it tried to give me like 10 cards and I'm not taking that. I refuse. Spirit knows I refuse. Let's see, one card. One card for Capricorn. Situation this week specifically. We have the Seven of Arms. Okay, Seven of Swords in most other decks. So this can indicate an individual who is selfish and manipulative as well as deceptive and is kind of like trying to usurp the system to get what they want out of it and kind of like fuck everybody else, right? But there is another side to this card. You could be the Seven of Swords, right? You're stuck in this shit situation. You may be taking advantage of, or you may just be stuck in the middle of a bunch of fighting and bullshit and pettiness between people that honestly, it's like, why are you even giving them your time, right? Is it just for money? If it's just for money, then you need to start trying to find a different way to make ends meet for yourself without exposing yourself to this toxicity, okay? And in that case, you are the Seven of Arms. You are quietly under the surface, looking around, shopping around for a better situation for yourself. And the minute you find it, you grab your shit and you go in the middle of the night with the lights off. You don't say goodbye. You don't care, because these people they don't care about your best interest. If this is a situation resonates with you, then this is just what I'm getting. These people really don't care about your security or your safety or your comfort, or even, and again, we can't always have comfort, but if you are in a constantly toxic situation, then that's just not good for you. And you don't have to stay in that if you can find a better way out. And if these people if they are mistreating you, if they are very toxic and they don't really care about your well-being, then there really is no point in giving them a heads up that you're getting out of there, because, they may try to block that. They may try to get in the way of a good opportunity for you so that they can keep you in, so they can continue to work the shit out of you and squeeze you for every drop that you've got left. And so in the case of this Seven of Arms, I really do feel like this may be indicating that you need to like make a little bit of an escape route. You gotta start digging and get out of there without anybody knowing, so that you can find the best situation for you possible, and no one will be able to get in your way or try to trip you up as you walk out the door. Especially if, because this prosperity lies ahead card, potentially if there's somebody toxic in your environment, especially if it's at work, and they become aware that you found a better opportunity or a better way out, who's to say that they wouldn't try to, get in the way of that simply to spite you or out of jealousy? Because sometimes people just don't want to see other people around them getting ahead, or, finding happiness, finding comfort, finding security. And it's just, sometimes you have to take care of yourself. Sometimes it's okay to put yourself first, and I kind of feel like that's what it's going to be like for you guys. And perhaps the way this connects to that Orphan card is that you may feel bad about that. You may feel bad about putting yourself first. You may feel selfish. You may feel like, only people who don't care about anybody else put themselves first. But if you don't take care of yourself, then you can't take care of the other people in your life who actually deserve your time, attention, and hard work. So if you're in a bad situation, don't feel bad at all about getting out of there. Don't feel bad about protecting yourself. It is perfectly reasonable, and I would suggest it. So let's go ahead and pull a card now. Not that we already don't have a couple cards that describe your challenge, but 2 challenges for you guys this week, and then we'll do 2 advantages. So we have the Ten of Pentacles that came out, or Ten of Zent in this deck, in reverse as a challenge. There is nothing left in this situation for you. There's no gain here. You're not If you stick around, there's not going to be like a monetary compensation. There's not going to be any opportunity to move up in the company or move forward or get a better position. There's no raises. There's no better positions. Like, there's just nothing left for you in this situation anymore. And so you're going to continue to hit walls until you just leave it all together. Okay? It is, what's the word I'm looking for? Like this, I don't know. I can't remember. It left my brain faster than... Anyway, second challenge for Capricorn, please. Or hopefully there are no other challenges, but we'll see. It's usually not the case. One more challenge for Capricorn this week that they need to be aware of or prepared for. So we have the Star, and that also came out in reverse. And so to me, this just indicates a feeling of hopelessness, potentially even depression, which makes sense if you're in a really bad situation and you have a hard time seeing a way out, especially these days, right? I've already said it once in this reading, but there's not a lot of opportunity available for everybody at this point in time. Especially as we're looking towards potentially more lockdowns and a second wave of the virus. Like, it's not as easy as just putting yourself out there and sending in job applications. Like, the jobs may just not be there. And I do feel like for you guys this week, this is a focus on your work situation. And so that feeling of hopelessness is going to creep in. And helplessness, as well as powerlessness, right? Because you feel like there's nothing you can do to better your situation. And, you could leave your situation without a plan, but then you're just left drifting in the wind with no resources, no income, no stability, and that's not good. That's not healthy. So it's either suffer or suffer in your mind. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. But because we have this new moon in Taurus card here, then that tells me that there is an opportunity for you out there somewhere. Keep your eyes peeled, especially this week. It may not have presented itself to you yet, but it may be coming in. So just don't lose all hope yet. Okay, let's see what advantages are available to you guys this week. We have the Six of Zent, okay, the Six of Pentacles, and this tells me that you potentially will run into somebody who's willing to help you out. It could also indicate that there's someone who needs your help, and in that case, that could be how the opportunity presents itself, right? Somebody needs your help and they're willing to pay you for it. They're willing to compensate you or reward you in some way. And this could be a way to get your foot in somewhere else and start moving forward in a different direction where there is actually more room for growth and opportunity and more possibilities. But if that's not the case for some of you, then for some of you, if you do choose to leave this situation, like if you just can't take it anymore and you don't have anything backed up as a plan B, then you have people who are willing to help you out while you get back on your feet again, or while you find, your new path, your new way of making a living. So you're not alone in this. There are people who can help you. And actually, depending on how long you've been at your job, and I mean, I'm not sitting here telling everybody go get on unemployment, but I am saying that if you, if this job isn't working out for you and you're let go, or there's something that occurs in that way in your life, then, there are programs available to you to help keep you on your feet until you can find a new source of income. So the other, excuse me, lordy. I am not sick, I swear. So the other card that came out to for an advantage for you guys is the Eight of Wires, which is also the Eight of Wands. So this is fast-moving energy. This is momentum. This is like boom, boom, boom. Once shit starts happening, it's going to keep happening for you guys. And this can be positive or this can be negative, and that really just depends on how you apply your energy to the situation. So if things are going really, really bad at work and that's the momentum, right, then that is going to push you out of there, and that's kind of going to free you in a way, right? But because it came out as an advantage, well, actually, honestly, if you're not willing to leave a bad situation and then things do start happening rapidly that are, really negative, that force you out, that could be still a gift, because it's freeing you and releasing you for more opportunities, especially if you're someone who's very loyal to whoever you work for and you don't want to leave them high and dry. Or, you may have one employee or a coworker, or maybe like one supervisor that you really love and you don't want to leave them hanging, and so you'll stay even if it kills you. But this Eight of Wands energy, is going to bring in a lot of good change for you this week. And how that manifests itself, I cannot be sure. But either the universe will help you out and kind of just set things up so that you are pushed in the right direction, or an opportunity will come in, and then another opportunity will come in, and you'll be able to take advantage of that. And then after that, it's just like it's a snowball of goodness that's just going to go rolling down that hill for you, so that you can get back on your feet and you don't have to suffer any consequences of saving yourself from a toxic situation. And I know that for some of you guys, this may not actually be a situation that is occurring in your work life or on the material level. This could also be a relationship or a family situation, or school even, because I do kind of include school and education. They're kind of like, I see it as being both Pentacles energy and Swords energy, because, you know, it's intellectual, but also it applies very well to, you know, how you make your money, how you gain your resources. So this could also be a school situation for you guys. I don't know where, because I don't know of any schools around here who are in session, but, you know, online school, whatever the case, a situation that is bad for you, that includes other individuals who are actively being shitty and, you know, making a situation very toxic. Work, school, home, whatever. Opportunities are coming in for you to be able to get away from that and still be independent and gain ground and, you know, grow from it. What am I trying to say? You know, monetarily, basically, like opportunities coming in that really allow you to, prosper. I don't know. Okay, so last card I'll pull, and this is just going to be like, what's the lesson for you guys this week? What's the lesson for Capricorn this week? Why are they going through this? What are they meant to learn? Everything's a learning opportunity. We have the Apprentice of Zent, which is the Apprentice of Pentacles, which is also the Page of Pentacles. So to me, this almost kind of gives me the feeling of like the lesson for you is to make your own way. Maybe you have some ideas and you want to start making your own money doing a craft of some kind, like something that you're really good at. You have a skill that you can apply in a way that perhaps nobody else has. And this may be, you know, maybe the point is to go from working for others to working for yourself. So if that resonates with you, if that's true for you specifically, if you have a craft or a skill that you can apply on your own without having to depend on other people to write you a check, then this may be just the situation that you need to give you the confidence to step out on your own, right? Because you're just so sick of being taken advantage of, and you're so sick of feeling like your future lies in somebody else's hands, so you're going to take it into your own hands, and you're going to take everything you know, everything you've learned, all your skills, and you're going to start applying them in your own special way where you can be in control of your own destiny, basically. This may also indicate that if you are going to continue to work for somebody else or join somebody else's business or whatever it is, if this is work, that you will be in a position as a partner rather than like a lowly employee, because you have something special to offer, basically. And also, the Page of Pentacles could simply just be a new job offer. But as a lesson, then I would see you as the Page of Pentacles, who has studied and worked really hard to accumulate a very high level of knowledge, understanding, and, again, skill. And so the lesson here is for you to believe in yourself and put yourself out there and start using that skill in your own way to make your own path, to make your own life, basically. And that may be where this prosperity comes in. There may be just a whole world of benefit and, what's the word? Another word for prosperity, so that I'm not saying prosperity over and over again. Abundance. A whole world of abundance available to you if you just make this one change and go in a different direction that perhaps you are afraid to go in because you don't know, how secure it is. Okay, but once your current situation becomes bad enough where you just can't take it anymore, then perhaps you'll be willing to, put yourself out there and give it a try. Take the risk, right? Because at this point, what do you have to lose? Okay, so those are the tarot cards I got for you guys this week. We're going to go ahead. We're going to move on to the oracle cards. Where did I put the oracle cards? Here they are. Okay, so first I'm going to pull a card for any past influences that might be at play for you guys this week. Past influences at play for Capricorn this week, please. Spirit demands I say please. We have the Exile. Strategy, failure, and trauma. Okay, I'm going to relate this directly back to this orphan card over here. This is some kind of trauma that occurred in childhood. Or just when you were younger. It doesn't necessarily have to be, childhood is, anywhere up to, if you go by the state, 26 years old or something like that. But, something that happened when you were younger, at a lower level of maturation, right? So now you're, a mature adult, but perhaps a couple years ago you were 19 and you weren't a mature adult yet. So when I say childhood, I mean, it's relative. It's all relative. I'm a mother, so my child will be a child forever. You know what I'm saying? So whatever this trauma is, it happened in the past. And it happened when you were vulnerable, young, unexperienced. So that's, for some reason, that's coming into play for you guys right now. Memories may be popping up. You may be triggered at times by certain things that occur, especially if you do have legitimate fighting at work or in your home at this point in time. Then that may be triggering you at a very, almost on a subconscious level where you're you may not even really be sure exactly what it is that's setting you off. But I kind of see this, while that trauma is something that you need to work through and heal from, at the same time, it's little red flags that are being set off within you. You remember that your gut, your inner self, your higher self, subconscious self, whatever, it's noticing these little red flags and it's alerting you by giving you a panic attack, basically. And that's a sign that things are bad and you need to get out. Trust yourself. Trust it. The trauma response is a evolutionary tool that at times can become out of control, but it exists, in my opinion, to help us not re-enter situations that were very dangerous or toxic for us in the past. That is how, it's just our warning system. It's our warning system. You see a behavior from somebody that reminds you of somebody or something that occurred when you were younger that really hurt you and damaged you. And then even if you're not conscious of it, your heart starts beating really fast. Your breath becomes shallow. You start to sweat and you're freaking out. And that's your body telling you, we've been here before. We've done this before. And it was bad. Run. Cut and run. And not that running away from your problems is always the best option, but I feel like in this case, getting out and away and protecting yourself in that way is very, necessary. Is necessary. And there's nothing shameful about it either. Sometimes you face your demons and sometimes you run away from them because I don't know where I was going with that. I tried to sound smart for a minute. Whoop-de-doo me. Okay, so next card that I'm going to pull, once I find... Oh, there they are. Is a card to kind of give us an idea of what's going on in your subconscious this week that may also be coming up for you guys. Just try to get a feel for every factor in the situation that's at play so that you can get a better feel for, where you're standing, where you're at this week. So what's going on in the subconscious for Capricorn this week? So we have the Swarm, and the Swarm is like an army of sorts, in my opinion, right? Because then you got the crown up here. Okay, so the Swarm is working for the Queen. Who is the Queen in your story? I don't know, necessarily. The Swarm can be good, the Swarm can be bad. You could be part of the Swarm. You may feel that all these negative actors that may be present in your life at this moment are like a swarm, enveloping you and overwhelming you and taking you out, taking you down. So this to me also kind of brings me back to that idea of that physical warning system where your body is just like, this is bad. This is bad. These people are coming at you. These people have bad intentions, or at the very least, just very selfish and uncaring intentions. And it almost feels like a battle or war. And something I just noticed again with this Exile card here, the word strategy is on this card, and strategy actually relates directly to the Seven of Swords here. Okay, because you strategize, you have a strategy to get out. And you keep your strategy to yourself, and you make sure it's foolproof, and then you execute that strategy to successfully save yourself from this situation. So there may be a lot of factors at play here in your situation that are either actively working against you or just simply like definitely not working with you. And to me that reinforces the idea that you guys have to be very, clever in getting away from the situation with as much of your sanity and your resources intact as possible. So next card I'm going to pull a card for what kind of energies you guys are attracting to yourselves this week. What kind of energy is Capricorn attracting this week? Interesting. You're attracting attraction, lust, or just moths. You may be attracting a lot of moths. So this tells me that there actually might be a lot of different people who are very attracted to you at this time. It could be like on a sexual level or a romantic level, but it could also be like, because I often use the analogy of like when bad things happen to people, right? When people attack other people, I often see it as being related to like, when your light is bright. You have a bright, whoa, that was backwards. You have a bright light within you. And as you start to become aware of your light, it shines brighter. And then inevitably, it attracts darkness. And that darkness comes in to snuff it out, right? Or to dim your light at the very least, to feed off of it, to keep you in fear, to keep you in pain, so that it can, enslave your energy in a way. And the picture that always comes to mind when I talk about that is the moth. So because your light is bright, because you are strong and you are highly skilled, because you are powerful, then perhaps this negative situation, these people are attracted to you specifically, and they want to use you. They want to take advantage of you. And even if it's not necessarily conscious on their part, I think that a lot of people who are not self-aware don't even realize what they're doing to others sometimes. So I'm not saying that these people are evil, but a part of them may be attracted to your light, and that is why you feel like all these different people, this swarm is coming at you. You're like, why? What did I do? I'm just here to make $1 and go home. But like, it's your light. People look at you and they see someone who's ready to help. They see someone who's good at stuff. They see someone who's attractive. They see someone who's, just willing to give a lot for others. And they feed on that, they latch on, they take advantage of it. So perhaps that is why you're finding yourself in this situation at this time. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that you can do to change that. All you can do is work on figuring out when that is occurring. Learn how to recognize the signs of someone who is genuinely interested in you as a person and willing to meet you equally when it comes to energy exchange. And when you are dealing with somebody who is simply there to, take advantage of you, or someone who's attracted to you because they see something in you that they want, that they can use. And then on a very basic, more literal level, maybe you just meet somebody sexy. Maybe somebody's like attracted to you on that level, you know what I mean? And that's okay too. that's normal. I would just say the same thing. Like, make sure that they're into you for the right reasons. And if you don't care necessarily, if it's like, you're like, whatever, it's like, it's one dance, it's one date, whatever, that's fine. This doesn't have to be like forever kind of relationship or encounter or anything like that. But because you are attracting attraction, I would just be careful of who you share yourself with, who you trust, who you give to, why they may be attracted to you. Don't be afraid to, like, look into it. Analyze it, Especially since you're in the situation that you're already in where, you're being taken advantage of and you're being drained and you're being used and abused. When new people come in, you want to make sure that they are right for you, romantically or just, on a friendly level. And you want to make sure that these are people that you are safe sharing your energy with. All right, so the next card I'm going to pull a card for something that you guys can let go of this week. Something that you carry, some burden, or just simply something that you don't need anymore, that you can let go of in order to lighten your load and open yourself up for new, better things to come in for you. So what can Capricorn let go of this week? Okay. So we have Anne Carson, the Intellect. So I just spent like 5 long-winded minutes telling you to analyze things. But this actually is kind of telling me that, like, because the intellect is all about analysis and understanding. So if the intellect is what you're being encouraged to let go of, it could be interpreted many different ways. Perhaps perhaps you're overthinking things in some degree. Or you have a tendency to overthink. You have a tendency to overanalyze. Maybe you're a little bit of a know-it-all. Maybe, because I could definitely see how this is like, forget everything you think you know. Let go of how you think the world works, who you think you are, and what you think you should be doing. Because, again, when we come back up here to this opportunity that's coming in for you, this could be a total departure from what you're used to, or what your plans were at the beginning. Like, everybody's kind of got a general idea of where they're going or what they want most of the time. Well, I don't know. I guess not everybody. But you probably do. And this new path that is available to you, or that you should take, that you're being called towards, may not be what you would expect. It might not even be anything that you ever heard of before or thought of. And so you're limiting yourself in that respect to what, you're limiting yourself by your own ideas, your own plans, basically, because your vision is narrow. And your plans are very specific, and in that way you can cut yourself off from other opportunities that may arise. So, in that way, I would keep my mind open, if I were you, to anything that might be available to you to try to get yourself out of the situation you're already in. Okay, so now I'm going to pull a couple cards for you guys on strengths that you already have that will be useful to you this week. It's basically just 2 cards reminding you about the strengths that you have that will be helpful. Strengths for Capricorn, please. Can I get strengths for Capricorn, please? Confidence. Be confident, you guys. You know what you know what you're capable of, and you know what you have to offer. Don't forget that. Don't let anybody tell you that you're less than what you are, or that you can't do something. Because you know that you're good. Dignity. Now, this is a strength for you, but I can also see why your dignity may be part of the reason why you're still in the situation that you are in. If you are in a toxic situation, is because, like I was saying before, like you may be very loyal. You may care a lot about other people. And so, you're not going to it's not okay with you to just walk out and leave everybody hanging. That makes you feel bad, but also, like, it's just not respectable as far as you're concerned. Like, you wouldn't respect somebody doing that to everybody else, right? And so you live by the standards you set for others. But in that way, raise your standards for how other people treat yourself, and then follow those same standards when you treat yourself a certain way. I don't know if that sentence came out right. But basically, you're very dignified, and you're very confident. And so not only are you doing everything well, but you intend to do everything right as well. And there is somebody out there who's going to really appreciate that about you, especially with this new opportunity that's coming in for you. There is somebody who will recognize these strengths in you and will give you an opportunity to express yourself, express your abilities positively, and reward you for that. So don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough, or that, or that you're an asshole for watching out for yourself, because it's not true. You need to take care of yourself. Alrighty, so next time I'm going to pull a couple cards for any extra advice that the universe would like to offer to you guys in this situation. Need some advice for Capricorn, please. Okay, so we have chakra cleanse, energy cleanse. This may be something that would really benefit you guys this week, especially if you have a lot of unhealthy ties to other individuals. You may have some energetic connections to people that you really don't even realize exist, and so there may be some individuals that are draining you energetically through those ties. So there are many different ways that you could do this. You could use meditation. I really think that meditation is probably the best possible way, and prayer. And it doesn't have to be praying to a god of any kind, just to the universe, or just, speaking your intention out loud that you are going to clear your energy, you are going to cleanse yourself, and also getting out into nature. And the card has water on it, and that's also very helpful as well. If it's possible for you to go to a lake or go to the beach, I know there's a whole huge part of the population that's not an option, but any way that you can come into contact with a natural water source and kind of, put your hands in or your feet in and just allow it to meditate and ooh-saw and allow that to clear your energy in a way. A big part of it, again, it's all about intention. You could use the water hose in your front yard if you really want it, and you speak your intention strongly and you believe that you have the power to cleanse your own energy and to release anything, negative that's still attached to you, then you can. It is that simple. It's hard to conceptualize for some people sometimes, myself included. I'm very visual. I'm I need a whole full ritual to really convince myself that things are going to work sometimes, but it really is as simple as closing your eyes for 5 minutes and telling yourself the negativity is gone. I don't need it anymore. I'm cutting all these energetic ties, and I am solid and clean once again. Alright, one more card for advice for you guys. And then we'll pull a couple cards for the outcome. Okay, so we have Earth, nurture. Nurture yourself. Nurture your creativity. I also see this as being, indicating that you really do, or you really could use getting back out into nature, going on a walk or on a hike through the woods, or just getting away from the hustle and the bustle, getting away from concrete and bright lights, just getting back into nature with the bugs and the birds and the dirt and the trees, and maybe even take a walk through the rain, but not a lightning storm. That's dangerous. Although I walk through lightning storms all the time. You may actually benefit from that. If you have any rainy weather going on around you guys right now, kind of just stand out in the rain and let the rain wash you. Just use the rain to cleanse yourself. Don't drink the rainwater. We don't know what's in the air these days. So I'm going to pull just 2 more cards from my Lenormand deck to give us an indication of what your best possible outcome will be for this week. And then we'll call it a day. Best possible outcome for Capricorn this week, please. Okay, first card to come out was the Book. Knowledge and Secrets. Lenormand cards are always wed in pairs, though. So, let's see, one more. Alright, so actually 2 more came out, which is just fine by me. And then we have the Man. This man could be you, or it could be someone else that you know or that is coming into your life to deliver a message, because we have the Rider here. The Rider comes in and he brings news. He brings news and also potentially offers and opportunities. So knowledge, and then a man, and then somebody bringing in news and opportunities. So keep, I don't know, kind of, don't be surprised if somebody, either that you do know or don't know, comes in and makes an offer to you that could change your life. Do not be surprised if that occurs. And I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could just be somebody with masculine energy, or you could be this man. But whoever it is, somebody's going to come in potentially and either bring you some kind of news that helps push you in a certain direction, or make an offer to you that could potentially, change your entire situation and push you in a new direction where, you can access this prosperity that's indicated by that Taurus new moon. So all in all, even though this started out kind of negative, like, you may be in a very bad situation right now, but this does look very positive. You are getting full permission from the universe to give yourself full permission to get yourself out of any bad situation that you may be in, because there's nothing left for you there. And any feelings of, anxiety or worry, or panic attacks, anything like that, that's your body telling you that you need to put yourself in a better situation, that you need to get out and to, take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and put your energy into something that's actually going to be rewarding to you. Okay, and put yourself in a relationship that's actually going to appreciate you and nurture you and care for you the way that you are so willing to care for other people in other situations, right? So, balancing out that exchange of energy, getting in return what you've been giving out this whole time, because I have a feeling that's where a lot of imbalance lies for you guys right now, is that you've put in a lot to something, work, a relationship, family, whatever it is, and you're just not receiving back in return what you have sacrificed. And you're happy to do it because that's the kind of person you are, but you deserve better, and you are allowed to pursue better for yourself. So keep an eye out for that offer coming into you guys, or that, idea, whatever it is. And good luck to you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Oh, by the way, if you like it, and subscribe. But you don't have to if you don't want to. Bye.